Liz, you do realize that most of your thoughts are not even yours. The thing that you're thinking can be from an outside entity, can be from an outside severe depression. I had 2 spiritual attacks. And when you are vibrating very low, you're in a depressive state of sadness, it's very easy for you to get attacked spiritually. What happened during those spiritual attacks is, for example, I woke up in the morning and all of a sudden, I was like just watching my feed in my bed, whatever. All of a sudden, I got these weird thoughts and so negative and bad. I was literally going insane. My mind was going insane and it did not stop. Like I was scrolling to Instagram and I was like, this person is stupid, this person is ugly, this person is blah. And it kept going and I was like, I'm not thinking this.
Also, you're not going to have time to figure out who you are. Like I said, you will be so busy with school that sometimes you can't even think properly. From my experience, I didn't have time to think about who am I really, what do I really want to do, because I had a million deadlines and readings to do at the same time. It wasn't until I went part-time at uni where I was able to figure out what I actually wanted to do. If you really are lost, don't feel pressure to go into uni. You're seriously much better off not going with the herd and going and doing your own thing, learning skills, traveling and figuring out what you want. You're also going to save a lot of money that way, because imagine you go to uni, you do your 3-4 years, you figure out, hey, I don't actually want to do this degree and I've already been here for 2 years. Do I continue for another 2 or do I just drop out midway through? And you've already spent all that money and now you're in debt. Like seriously, take a couple of years off. I didn't actually learn that much from college. I did a psychology and marketing degree. I was actually previously in the marketing field earlier on in my life because I was working in startups and I was doing my own business stuff related to marketing. So I felt like marketing really didn't teach me a lot. Everything from psychology you could have learned from YouTube. Obviously, if you want to be a psychologist, then you kind of have to go to uni. There's no way around it. If you can learn it from the internet, learn it from the internet. Men do not date for potential, but women date for potential. We will tend to see a man and be like, oh, like I can really help build him up. Like he has so much potential to one day be like this and that, and one day be the man that I really, really want. If I just make him go to the gym a little bit, get his bag up, he's gonna be the perfect man. Do men do this? No. They're like, oh, well, I don't like her body. I don't like her face. Like, sure, I can buy her a boob job. I can get her to dye her hair blonde, but I would rather just go get another girl. Men don't date for potential. They are not bothered building a woman. They're like, well, I don't like that. I'm not gonna go for that. Key thing here, guys, is that how you act is how they're gonna treat you. So if you're constantly getting disrespected, you're probably giving out the energy that I don't value myself. For example, one of my guy friends, he would get his hose to clean his apartment, to cook his food, to like literally meal prep for him. And he's like, yeah, because I didn't respect them. Meanwhile, this man then met his wife and within 1 month he got married because he was like, oh my God, she has so much self-respect. None of my tricks worked on her. It's kind of disgusting. Yes, whatever, but like you can learn from it.
My next point. Ask good questions, collect data. Now you can only do this if you are actually interested in people, because if you're not, you're going to be like, well, Simone, what questions do I ask? But if you're genuinely interested, it's going to come to you naturally. Personally, every single person I meet, I am so interested in them. Even if you think you're a boring person, I'm going to be interested, because everyone has a different story, a different background. They have something they can share with you. And I think that is wonderful, which is why I love meeting new people.
Think of the ROI, the return on investment, because there will be a trade-off for everything. Is the trade-off worth it? And also, like I've said in another video, this world is becoming increasingly more competitive every day, especially now because we have platforms like YouTube and TikTok and free learning platforms, AI now especially, which is making skills easier to learn. People have access to resources that they've never had in the past. To not improving your health, bad diet, drugs, drinking, smoking. Do I have to say more? Social isolation. I don't want to hear I'm an introvert, I hate people, blah, blah, blah. You better start to like people, or at least get a couple of social interactions in per week, because plenty of studies have shown that if you do not get social interaction, your risk for like mental health issues, dying early, and like memory issues like Alzheimer's, dementia are way more likely. Also, I don't remember the exact stat, but I learnt this in my psychology degree that social isolation, it has like a higher mortality rate than smoking actually. I think that was correct. It was either smoking or cancer, but they're correlated in itself. Negative influences, duh. If your teammates in the game are shit, you're gonna be shit. Think about it. Fear and self-doubt. Get rid of it. Work on it. Get that therapist. Get a good ROI. Lack of focus. If you can't focus, how can you perform? Where do you get your focus from? Sleeping, meditation, good health. Don't ever burn bridges. Everyone can be a connection in some area. You never know how. So don't ever burn a bridge unless that person is very, very toxic. Okay, only focusing on yourself. What do I mean by this? A lot of the time we hear focus on yourself and everything will come. I talk about that too, and it's true. But if you only focus on yourself, that you become selfish, trust you're not gonna level up, because it's actually very hard to complete a game by yourself. And why should you? If it's easier to utilize your resources and other people's resources, then why won't you do that?
So please whatever. Please I want to reach 1 million